Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Experience Podcast, inside the business, buzz, and brilliance of Black entrepreneurs. Here is your host, Dr. Frances Richards.
Innovative Thinkers episode number 260. Innovative Thinkers. Our guests have sent us so much swag, books, and giveaways this year. I can't wait to announce our monthly winner. So if you want exclusive content delivered right to your inbox and to enter into our monthly drawing, go to drfrancesrichards.com and subscribe to our mailing list. That's drfrancesrichards.com. drfrancesrichards.com. That's drfrancesrichards.com and subscribe to our mailing list. We promise we will not spam you or sell your information. Thank you for joining us as we elevate the Black entrepreneur experience by interviewing CEOs, thought leaders, innovative thinkers, and Black entrepreneurs across the globe. I'm your host, Dr. Frances Richards. Grow your business with next level lead generation. Founder of Elevate Leads, Nick Abraham.
Hey, how you doing today? I'm excited to be here.
It's my pleasure. Nick, I've given our audience such a brief bio. Why don't you fill in the gaps and share with our audience what you'd like them to know about you and your business?
Yeah, definitely. Let's dive into it. So my name is Nick Abraham, just like she said. And what we do at Elevate Leads is basically we're a tech company also with a agency service. And so what we do is we basically help our clients and our customers that are doing anything in the B2B space, high ticket, to find their ideal clients and their ideal customers. And so we just do it through effective lead generation that's usually direct and goes straight to the offer. But we do it in a way that is very personal and gets responses and it gets appointments set. And so that's basically what we do at Elevate Leads.
You see a lot of lead generation services on the internet, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, social media, and someone saying, Nick, how are you different?
Yeah, I think the main thing that makes us different, right? So if you look at, I would say 95% of all other lead generation companies out there, they do one thing. And the one thing is send one message to as many people as they can. And of course, you're going to convert on a couple, but the strategy never works long term. And so what we do differently is we personalize every single message that we send out on behalf of our clients. And so, every message that is being sent out can't be sent out to anybody else in the world. Every message is unique to the own. So how many cold emails have you received that have really dived deep into who you are as a person? Probably not much. And so that's what we do. And we pair that with our clients' amazing offer, whatever they are offering. And by doing that, we're able to get the responses that we need to get them appointments consistently, right? And so I think that's what makes us stand out. It's just the fact that, we're going in and putting in the work to actually personalize every single message versus everyone else that's kind of like doing a spray and pray kind of thing.
Nick, walk us back to your journey. How did you get into lead generation? And what was that aha moment that you knew you were going to be successful?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I'm a success yet. I would say, I've had a lot of wins, but to say, to get my idea of success is a lot different than others, right? I wouldn't say I'm successful and I've completed my job on this earth until I get one of my employees in the Philippines a house. That's like one of my major goals. And so until things like that happen, I wouldn't say I'm a success, and I still got to go into the office every day, put my time in. But the way I got here, great story. So basically, I've always been in the entrepreneurial space. I've always, like middle school, I used to sell socks, custom socks that me and my friends would make, and we'd sell to kids in middle school. Senior year in high school, we would throw a whole bunch of basketball tournaments, a whole bunch of sports tournaments, and charge per team, things like that. I've always been doing little side hustles, right? And so my freshman year in college, I grew an Instagram page, and I was able to grow it to about 50,000 followers organically in less than 6 months. And I really knew how to kind of organically grow these pages. And so, I eventually sold that page, and then I was like, wait, why don't I just do this as a service? And I do this under like a marketing agency kind of thing, right? I start selling this as a service to manage people's pages, and let's do it towards medical professionals. And so I started the agency, I filed my papers, and then I kind of just sat there and I was like, okay, well, what's next? Who's going to call me? Who's going to know about this 19-year-old kid that just started his company and is wanting to get business? Nobody. And so then I had to really figure out, okay, how do I actually get people to purchase my high ticket service? Like, what's that even look like? And so I went through the whole entire route of cold calling. I went through the whole entire route of sending a lot of emails, sending non-personalized emails, reaching out to people on LinkedIn, and just kind of hitting my head on the wall really and figuring out, well, like none of this is working. So how do I make it work? And then figuring out what works and just scaling that up. I was able to take my first agency to about 17 clients consistently every single month for about 6 months. At the peak, we had about 35. And I did that all as a freshman in college, really. And so that really piqued my interest. And then Instagram is kind of like, it's not something you can control completely. And I didn't really like that because I don't think that's a business that you can really scale up. And so, I took a step back and I was like, what do I really enjoy? It's not really managing these pages with my entire team. It's more of, actually getting these appointments set and closing these deals. That was what was fun to me. And so then I was like, okay, wait, why don't I just start doing this as a service? I enjoy this. I'm really good at it. Let's see what we can make happen. And that's what brought me to Elevate Lead.
What did you major in college? Is it related to what you're doing now?
Not at all. I'm majoring in finance at the moment.
Why finance?
So freshman year, I come from a Indian background. And so most of my parents, they wanted me to go to become either a doctor or a lawyer. And so my goal, my freshman year in college, was either to become a lawyer or an investment banker. I didn't think of actually owning a business. That was never in my path. That was just something like, hey, we maybe could do that, but let's stick in college and let's figure out how to become either a lawyer or an investment banker.
And so you're going the route of investment banker?
Well, I was until, business started kind of taking off, right?
What are you most grateful for right now in your life?
Just to be alive. I feel like, and just alive and healthy. I feel, this last year, everyone, it just took a toll on everyone. And just to be in a position where I am right now, it's really good to see. So I would say that's something that I'm very grateful for, as well as, just being around family and friends and, having an amazing girlfriend at all times. I think that's just something not many people have.
Talk about raising capital. How did you raise capital to start your company?
Yeah, so that is a great question, because I think when you have a company and, you have no money, it's almost impossible to kind of grow it up, right? Because you can't afford employees. So that means you're doing everything by yourself. You can't afford the best technology, which makes it even harder because you can pretty much automate everything. And there's just so much other stuff, right? And so my first business with me going on these Instagram pages, it was just completely funded by myself, right? I had literally no money. And I was just trying to see if I could sell a service and then use that money to kind of grow the business. And so that was really hard. It was like hitting my head on the wall, like I said, right? And so there was no much hope in that. But for Elevate Leads, I just had so much capital from what I was doing previous to that I was able to just take all my money and just reinvest it right back into the business.
Who's your ideal customer?
Ideal customer. So we're mostly working with marketing agencies that have 10 to 20 employees that have a very ROI driven offer. That's like one segment. And then we work with B2B enterprise SaaS companies.
Get. What do you want to give and what do you want to get?
What I would like to get is all my employees do this and I love them so much, just to work as hard as they can, right? And just put in that work and get the end results, which is just more appointments for our customers and our clients. That's what I want. But what I want to give, I want to make sure that all my employees are well taken care of. I want to make sure that they have the life that they've been able to help me build, and just so much more. I want to make sure that they're all well taken care of. I tell them every day, if you're part of my team, I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of no matter what. And, if I got to sacrifice whatever I have going on, I will do that in a second.
What is the best decision that you've made as a leader?
As a leader, knowing when to quit. If something's not working and it's not going the way I want it to, I feel like a lot of people just kind of keep going at it and try to figure out how to make it work. But, sometimes you gotta know that, and you gotta know your mistakes, and you gotta say, okay, well, this is not going to work. We gotta stop this before we burn our entire ship down. So
who is Nick Abraham and what matters to him?
What matters to me most is just putting in the work every day. I feel like that's just so underrated. Like for me, I have a couple things that I have to do every single day. And if I don't do them, I don't know what would happen, to be honest. I just wouldn't be where I would be and where I would want to go. It's just that.
Now, are you still in college?
I'm in my senior year right now. So I'm taking it slowly. Like if it was up to me, I would have dropped out by now, to be completely honest. But, I've made a promise to my dad that I would graduate just because, he came from India. He was able to get his degree and he came from literally nothing. And, me coming from something, I'm able to go to college and have this opportunity and stuff. So I've always promised them that I'm going to graduate. Just don't know when, just because, it's really hard to kind of balance both.
And that was the question I was going to ask. How do you balance college and running a business and
It,
being so young?
that's the thing. I'm still figuring that one out. I would say just because, this last semester and this semester, I mean, we picked up heavily. And so I've only taken one class just to stay enrolled. And so managing one class it would sound easy, but I mean, in my senior year, we're taking like high level econ classes and it's just all over the place. But, slowly but surely, just being consistent, kind of waking up earlier than I had to, just to kind of get some of these assignments done.
Advice you wish you had followed.
Advice I wish I would have followed. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I feel like I never really had like a mentor kind of growing up. Kind of just figured everything out on my own.
So, what is your zone of genius?
Just outbound sales completely. I think what I know in outbound sales, I think our team and with lead generation can compete against anybody in the world. If not, they would have to compete against us because I think we're in the top 1%.
Nick, the word is listening. What is that resounding sound or message that your generation is saying that we should be listening to?
I don't think our generation has anything really good to say. I feel like a lot of them are not where they should be and doing the things that they should do. But for the ones that are, I would say that, just trust in us. I think we're going to take care of everyone. I think we're going to do good. I think a lot of us are a lot smarter than we look.
Talk about business continuity. What is your highest risk as a business owner?
Yeah, so our business model just changed since like last 2 months. And so we do everything like by performance base. And so we're completely only generating revenue, determining on how we perform. And so for us, we're doing lead generation. So we're setting appointments for our clients. And so we only get paid for every qualified appointment that our clients get. And so it's a huge risk, but there's a lot more reward as well as, we're really good at what we do. So, we just got to stay consistent with it.
So are you training your team to do that? Do what you do?
So what we've done is basically just created this huge system that we just put all our clients through. And so, we split up everything, right? So we have a whole team of copywriters, and what they'll do is they'll just be the ones researching the prospects and writing, 1 to 3 sentences about them. And then our SDRs are the actual ones who go in and plug in these messages and send them out and then manage the responses. And then it kind of works like that. And it's just like a whole, like, I would say it's like a machine, and we're just plugging our clients in from the beginning of the machine and letting them run through. And so that's kind of the entire thing. But yes, to answer your question, we do have to train everyone. Yes.
Nick, talk about self-care and COVID-19.
That's something I wish I did a little bit more research for before COVID started, and I started to prepare before, because COVID was kind of hard in the sense where I did most of my work from the house for about 3 months, and it was just, I never got to turn my brain off. It was just constantly in my bedroom, doing work, sleeping, thinking about work, waking up in the morning, working again. It was just endless. And then not really being able to go to the gym or anything like that, it just kind of derailed me in a way, I would say. And then, just moving back to the office about 6 months ago was really nice, but it's just so hard right now, especially with all the work I have, that I don't really get the time to take care of myself as much as I need to. But now Q2, it's a huge focus of mine to just make sure that I'm taking care of myself better.
And what does that look like?
Just going to the gym, making sure I have time to sit down and be able to read, and then just be able to relax, really, have times where I could just literally put my phone away in a corner and not have to touch it for 4 or 5 hours. And just making sure that every day throughout the week that I take a whole day to just leave my phone at the office and just come home and relax.
And what is the one thing we can do right now to support your business?
To support, check out demo.elevateleads.com, and then you can see our software. And if you enjoyed the video and you enjoy how we're able to generate a ton of appointments, and if you think it can help you, then you should definitely get a free trial.
What is the hope for your generation?
Just to be able to right all the wrongs. I mean, I think the biggest thing in our country right now is we need to get out of debt. Not all debt is bad, but I think right now the US dollar is just getting completely ruined. So we need to step it up in that area.
Nick, I want you to have a monologue. I want you to name the person that you're talking to, living or not, and this person has really impacted your life. What would you say to that person and name the person?
Yeah, it would be to my dad. He's able to come from literally nothing. He didn't have his first pair of shoes until he was in college. And then he came to a completely new country and was literally able to go from nothing to something and was able to retire by the time he was 49 and build an incredible life for me, my sister, my mom, and really the rest of our family as well, from his siblings and some of his cousins and stuff. And for him to be able to do all of that and do it from absolutely nothing, I have no reason not to be something because I actually came from something. I actually had, a decent family to support my lifestyle. So being able to come from that, I have much respect, much praise for him. And yeah,
What keeps you up at night, if anything?
clients, making sure that we deliver the results.
Speaking of clients, talk about your worst moment in business and what was your takeaway?
Worst moment in business would probably be, so one of our first, I don't want to name the client, but one of our first people that we ever took on, took him on. He gave me a lot of praise. He was like, yo, we're going to make this work. We're going to, help you out. Just do this one thing for us. And so I did the job and I did it really well. And then I never heard back from the guy. And so it just made me realize that, if we're going to do something, make sure you take money up front because we're not starting off free and we're not going to do it that way. And then just make sure you understand the time value in it, right? So it's like if you're going to put in 10 hours of time, make sure something actually comes out of it.
What is something that we should know about lead generation in your industry that we don't know that we should know?
Yeah. So first thing I would say is a lot of people think that cold emailing does not work. And I agree if you do it the wrong way. If you do like a spray and pray message, of course, it's not going to work. But if you are having a business that is not doing well and you're struggling, you should literally spend about an hour every day writing out 30 extremely personal cold emails to your ideal clients. You can find them on the internet very easily and just do that every single day for a month. And if you do that every day for a single month, there's no way that you don't make something happen. Impossible.
Mm-hmm. What is the one thing that you can do better?
Generate appointments. I seriously don't think that anybody in the world has the systems and processes that we do to generate our clients the amount of appointments we generate them. Because it's like, I've never seen it anywhere. And I really believe that we're in the top 1%.
What is the biggest achievement so far in your business?
Biggest achievement, I would say just the way we grew really quickly. We got to about 17,000 at MRR in about 3 months, I think. So being able to do that was really incredible. And then just recently, I would say like we just did a course release. Well, it's kind of like, it's similar to my business. It's under my business, but it's like kind of something new we're trying to start up. And I've been growing my Twitter audience for about 3 months now. And it was just amazing to see the support because in that first 24 hours, we had a massive release and we sold about 204 copies, I think, of our course. So that was very nice to see.
Nick, there are so many brands and businesses that are dominating. Talk about a brand or a business that's dominating that you admire and why.
Yeah, in the B2B space, I would say Alex Becker and his company High Rose. I would say they're absolutely dominating kind of like the advertisement space. I mean, it's just an incredible platform. So it's just great to see his company kind of go up.
Give us 3 truths you've learned in life or business so far.
3 truths. Your team's only going to work as hard as you work. So if they don't see you working every day, they're not going to be motivated to kind of put in that work. So that's one thing. The second truth is that, not everyone is going to support your vision and dreams, and that's okay. Just to keep going and just keep having that complete self-belief in yourself. And then the third truth is don't ever say you can do something that you can't do. If you don't think you could do it with utmost certainty, don't say you can do it because it's always just going to bite you back. What
book would you recommend and why?
So I just started reading this new book. It's really big. It's called Paid to Think, and I really enjoy it. It's like I would say like a fourth through, and it's really good. But if you're trying to learn anything about like outbound sales, I would say get anything from Aaron Ross. He has one book called From Impossible to Inevitable. It's a really, really good book, I would say, for anything like outbound sales.
If someone wrote a book about you, an autobiography, what would the title be?
The GOAT, the greatest of all time. Not playing. Probably just Nick Abraham or something.
I like that. What is working well for you now in your business?
Just being consistent. That's it. Like every single day, all our team has deliverables and we do it every single day. And we call it our daily disciplines. And it's basically just making sure that, we do things that basically make sure that if we do it every single day, we'll consistently grow mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. So those are our things. And we're just all looking to self-improve.
Talk about vetting your team. How did you find your team members?
So that's actually probably, so like I just kind of did our review of Q1, and I would say that's probably my worst skill. I'm terrible at knowing who is a good person and who isn't, and who I should be bringing on. That's the worst thing. And so we started working with recruiters to do it for us, because last quarter, I would say I was spending a majority of my time hiring talent, and then it was just the wrong talent, the talent that we didn't need. And so this quarter, I've told myself that I'm not gonna hire because it's not my skill, and I gotta delegate it out.
And that's smart. And you're not alone. People engagement and people talent is one of the biggest challenges that a lot of companies have. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Talk about your top 2 influencers in your life and what lessons did they teach you?
Top 2 influencers. When you say influencers, like anyone, could it be someone in my circle, or would it be like anybody, like a celebrity kind of thing?
However you want to interpret it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'd say LeBron James for one, just because, from where he came from and where he's at now, that's amazing to see. So I've always been a huge fan of LeBron. Second one would probably be either Jay-Z or Drake. I don't know which one. I'd probably say Drake, just because he's ruled the rap game for about 10, 15 years. And so it's incredible to see that, because you never see that really in history.
That's awesome. Nick, what drives you every day to continue doing what you do?
I just want to be the best in this outbound sales game. I want to be the best. I refuse to get outworked by any competitors or other people that think they know how to do it. I just want to be the best. I want all my clients to stay with us for the end of life, and be able to grow their businesses, right? That's just what motivates me every single day.
What are you most proud of?
Proud of probably just my heritage, to be completely honest. I think I used to be really ashamed of it, being an Indian, but I think it's just incredible to say that we have the family that we do, and that we're just absolutely crushing it.
That's awesome. Nick, if someone spent a whole day with you, what would they learn about you that they don't know?
That I could sit at a computer for about 10 hours a day and not move.
Talk about your most memorable moment in life or business.
Okay. Probably the first dollar I ever made on my phone from Instagram, from like selling posts and stuff. Because I think that was like a huge pivotal moment in my mind, just because I think I was working at like a gas station my freshman year in college. That's a part-time job. And it was just crazy to see me making money outside of that, because like I was working maybe 20 or 30 hours at a gas station, and I was able to make more than that just off of my phone. And I think that just kind of let a light bulb off of my head. Like, maybe I don't need a 9 to 5. Maybe I could do this, and maybe I should take the chance to do it while I'm young, right? When I get older, and if it's not working, then maybe I should get a job. But right now, I should probably try to see if I can make this business stuff work. And so I think that was a very, very memorable moment in my life.
What is your biggest win this past week?
This last week, just reviewing Q1 and just realizing, okay, these are all the things where we're messing up on. We need to fix this Q2, and let's make a plan about it, and let's focus on it. I think that was my biggest win, because it made me, I haven't really been looking at the numbers like I should have this last month, really. And so just being able to look at the numbers and notice that our conversions are down made me realize, okay, we need to optimize all this to get it back up.
What is one valuable lesson you wish you knew before starting your business?
Be hyper aware of where you spend your money. I think if the business is going to fail, it's just because of, they're not allocating their capital properly. And so just being able to track your cash flow on a daily, I think, is very, very underrated, and something I didn't do, but now I do every day.
I want you to talk about our leaders today And I want you to name who you define as a leader and why do you classify them as a leader?
Okay. So I mean, I'll be completely honest. I'm terrible at politics. I don't listen to it. I don't watch it. I think it's all smoke and mirrors. I don't think that it's going to go where we want it to go in terms of leaders in our lives. I mean, I might have to bring it back to LeBron James just because of what he's done. I mean, first of all, he led a team that is a very new team to a championship, which is amazing to see, as well as what he's done for the community. Only basketball player to do so much outside of the actual game, right? And so being able to see that and being able to see what he did, I think that's tremendous leadership. And he's the only athlete, and I mean, I wouldn't say the only athlete, but one of the first athletes that, he doesn't care about what other people think about him and will actually speak his mind about what's going on around the world. And I think that's amazing to see because, so many celebrities are so protective about their platform, but LeBron is truly like, he's for the people.
Is there a social cause tied to your business, Nick?
I wouldn't say we're at that stage where we can make like a social cause yet, but obviously whenever we grow, I would love to be behind some amazing things in the community. But right now, I just want to make sure that all my employees are taken care of before we can start helping others, because I think it would be kind of wrong if I was helping a lot of other people and then my team was still suffering in certain areas. I want to make sure that they're well taken care of and then basically work from inside and then work outside.
What do you need right now that you don't have to move the needle forward?
Right now, so we just got this last part of our automation built out, this huge thing that we've been working on for a while. We finished yesterday. And so right now, I don't need anything. I'm ready to start this next week on Monday and just take off.
Congratulations. And what is the next for Elevate Leads?
Next, I mean, I hope to be able to sell this company within the next, I would say 12 months and be able to focus on a couple of other projects. And I think it's very doable. I mean, if I wanted to, I could sell it right now. But I want to continue building it out and make it even better and more profitable for clients, not just clients, but investors.
And what do you do personally when you hit that bump in the road?
Honestly, I am the worst with, if I get a setback, my mindset is just the worst. And that's something I want to work on. But typically, I'll just take a break and I'll probably just drown myself out in some food. That's usually how it goes. I'm usually eating Chipotle or something.
Talk to someone in our audience and they want to start a business and they're fearful. What advice would you give them?
If you have any fears, you have to retrace my words. You won't have any fears if you consistently put in the work. You won't, because you're prepared. And if you're prepared, you don't get scared. And so if you consistently can commit to putting in the work every single day, you won't ever feel worried why a client is calling you. You'll just make things happen. So just be consistent with it, be persistent with it, and just put in the work every day. That's all it is. And if you're doing anything in the online world, if you have like a physical business, I can't speak too much about it, but if you're doing anything in the online side of the world, if you just sit at your computer and you stay focused for about 4 to 8 hours a day, complete focus, there's no way you don't get to the top. There's no way.
And that's interesting. You mentioned that, Nick, about an online business and staying focused. And, when you're building an online business, there's so many shiny objects, and then you're trying to figure that out. What is the best advice you would give someone who is looking to build an online business? Because there's so many courses out there. Some of them are evergreen. The information that they're giving is not apropos today. Mm-hmm. So what advice would you give?
Well, I would say, the way we kind of stumbled upon Elevate Leads is, I started a business and I found where I was having the most issue and created another business around it. Right. And so in the same way, if you're thinking of creating a business and you're thinking of just buying a course and just copying exactly what that person does in the course to make it your business, it never works out in the long run. Right. What you should do is you should take these courses. I mean, first of all, YouTube has more than enough knowledge for you to start a business. But if you do buy like a high-end course, which is like a good consulting coaching kind of program, go through it, write what you like, write what you don't like, and just don't copy it exactly, but make it kind of like an MVP model, right? Make it your basis, but build upon it. And that's how you're going to build a really incredible business, by being able to take what you learned, expanding on it and redefining it.
What is your weakness as an entrepreneur?
I'm too forgiving. I would say it's just that, if someone messes up, I'll forgive them, but then they do it again, and then I'll forgive them, and then they do it again, and then it's just like an endless cycle of me forgiving and then keep getting backstabbed. I would say that's my biggest weaknesses. I need to be strong enough to just let them know, hey, this is not going to work out. Let's not move forward. But it's hard for me to say no.
If you had to do it all over again, would you go in the same business or would you go into a different industry, and why?
I would probably stay in the same space. I think lead generation is so powerful. Everybody needs it, right? It's just, if you could do it and do it well, you're going to grow to have a great business. But yeah, I'd probably stay in the same space. The only thing I would do differently is just be much more. I would first start off by going through recruiters, not trying to figure it out myself. I would just delegate the things that I'm terrible at, which is recruiting, and then just be a lot more conscious about where we're spending our money. Just because, if you can allocate your money properly and you're doing it and you're investing right back into your business, it's really easy to kind of come up.
Nick, talk to a younger you. What advice would you give to a younger Nick?
Yeah, Nick, don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Don't worry about your friends, your family, none of that. You need to get on social media and you need to start posting more.
What have you not done in life that you dream about often that you would like to do?
Just travel more. That's a huge goal of mine, but I'm kind of like, I'm terrible whenever I do travel because it's so hard for me to get right back into work. I'm like going out on a weekend or something. And so I try not to leave my Dallas area too much, just so I could be able to come back on some Mondays and be completely dived into work. But yes, traveling is definitely a must need for me that I always think of.
And where would you go?
Anywhere outside of America, just outside of my comfort zones.
Absolutely. What is a technology tool or a technology platform that is a must have in managing your business day to day?
Elevate leads. But insincere, like if you need something to consistently be able to send out messages, like we are the platform for that. Like we will help you with your lead generation. But outside of that, I would say just get a CRM. I used to put it off for so long, but you got to have a place to keep track of all your possible deals, your future deals, and all this stuff. It helps you keep everything organized. What we use is Go High Level. It's a really great CRM because it's like an all-in-one platform. You can send emails out of it. You can manage a pipeline. You create all these little funnels and all this stuff. But having a CRM, I think, is an absolute must.
Okay. Tell us about your life. More specifically, talk about your current path and how did it intercept with your future?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just like kind of growing up, it's just always about when I graduate, I'm going to become a doctor, a lawyer kind of thing, and just being able to take my path to having my own path, really, and being able to create a job for myself. I think that's where it all kind of intercepts and just kind of overlaps because it's just crazy to see. Because like if you ask me, would I be doing this about 10 years ago? I'd probably say no. I'd probably say I'm still going to be in college. I'm going to graduate and become a lawyer of some sort. And to be able to see where we're at right now, it's pretty awesome.
And how hard was that decision? Talk about that conversation with your parents when you decided to go the entrepreneurial journey versus the traditional journey path that you should have taken.
So, I mean, like, it's funny that you say that. Like, my mom, she's still like confused what we do, right? If she asks me, what do you do? Like, you're at the office for like 10 hours a day. What are you doing? And I'm like, I just send emails. Just keep it simple for her. She doesn't know anything about technology or sales or anything like that. So I just tell her, hey, I just send emails. And so she doesn't even consider what we're doing right now a job, which is, it's just funny to see. But my dad, he supports it. Having the talk with him, like, obviously in the beginning, he's a little shaky about it. Like, hey, are you sure? But I think he knows, where we're at. And he sees, how far we've come. And so he knows where it's going to be at. So he believes in the vision.
And what about, you mentioned your sister, is she working in the business?
No, she's not. She's graduating right now. She's about to become a physician's assistant, a PA. So she's finishing out PA school right now. So she actually graduates in a couple months. So I'm super excited to go up there and see her graduate.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
What is your best discovery?
Just the online business world. It's just amazing what can be made out of it and how powerful it is. And how easy, honestly, it is to grow. Because I mean, think about it, right? Like 30, 40, 50 years ago, if you wanted to start a business, you'd have to go to, it'd probably be a physical location. You got to go to the bank. You got to figure out how to get a loan. You're going to have to put a lot of money down and hope for something to work. And then even then, like getting your name out there, all that stuff is a lot harder. But for us, like if you have $5,000 and you have a good mind, and you work every day and you figure out how to hone your craft, you could literally become in the top 1%. And, I think our business is a living proof of that. You don't need, $100,000, $200,000 loan to make a business work now. You could start something really, really, you could start it with nothing. Like I have a friend, he's actually from India. He's 18 years old. His name's Devesh. And he literally started his business. They're doing really great. And he started literally from, I think like $18, something like that, like something crazy. And he was able to take it to where he is right now, which is an agency that's consistently doing about 6 figures a year, which is incredible to see because he's 18 years old from India and he's able to close these big deals with some big enterprise companies. And he did it from literally nothing. Like he had literally no money. He told me when he first started his business, he would use his neighbor's Wi-Fi. He would steal his neighbor's Wi-Fi, and just to see where he's at right now, it's incredible to see.
And what type of business is he in?
It's a similar business to my own in terms of like lead generation and stuff, but we both take different approaches, I'd say.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. If you conducted this interview, Nick, what is the one question you would have asked yourself? I want you to ask the question and answer it.
The one question I'd probably ask is, how do you stay so consistent? And then the answer is just to be really focused, be disciplined, and understand that, these things that you set up for yourself every single day, these things that you have to do, your daily disciplines, if you don't do them, then you're not holding your word, and your word is everything. And if you can't hold your word, then no one's ever going to believe you, trust you, or honor you.
Nick, how did you become so disciplined?
Just holding my word, really, right? I told myself one day, hey, I'm going to wake up every morning. I'm going to make sure that I track my cash flow KPIs. I'm going to track my outreach KPIs. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do a couple other things. And if I don't do it, I'm not holding my word. And I don't want to be a man that's not holding my word. My word is everything. So just being able to know that and understand that helped me stay disciplined.
And how did you come up with your daily disciplines?
Well, I just think of it, okay, I'm on a path of ever-ending self-improvement. So, how can I improve in every area of my life? And so, when I look at my life, there's only a couple areas, right? There's physically, there's spiritually, there's financially, there's mentally, there's financially, a couple other areas. So then I wrote down 3 to 4 things in each one of those areas that if I was able to do it every single day, and I did this every single day, that I would improve. And so I narrowed down on a couple of things for each one of those areas, and I just focused on doing it every day.
We've come to the part of our interview. It's called Fun Facts Lightning Round. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to give me very quick answers. If it's something you desire not to answer, feel free to say pass. Are you ready for the Fun Facts Lightning Round?
Let's do it.
Your favorite color?
Probably like black.
Your first job?
I worked at a restaurant as a busboy.
The last movie you saw?
Black Panther.
You relax doing what?
Reading.
Your favorite singer or rapper?
Drake.
What food you eat every week, no matter what?
Probably like a protein smoothie with frozen fruits in it. That's like my daily breakfast. I love it.
Your favorite month?
April.
Work out or hit the couch?
Depends on the mood, but I need to get back in the gym. We just started up this last week, but I've been putting it off for way too long.
Nick, thank you so much for spending time with us on Black Entrepreneur Experience Podcast. Before we let you go, why don't you share with our audience the best way for them to connect with you and to do business with you? And feel free to leave all of your social media handles.
Yeah, definitely. So like I said before earlier, if you are interested in seeing how our software works, you can head to demo.elevateleads.com. We spell elevate with 2 A's, so ELEVAATE, leads.com. And then if you just want to get some free training, you can head to training.elevateleads.com and you can watch like a whole, I think it's like about an hour long video of how we kind of do lead generation. It's a great place to start. So those are the 2 places I would go to. And then if you just want to kind of reach out, you can head over to Nick Abraham 12 on Twitter.
Thank you, Nick. That's a wrap.
Thank you.
Subscribe to our mailing list to receive weekly updates and exclusive content delivered right to your inbox. Go to drfrancisrichards.com. That's drfrancisrichards.com to subscribe to our mailing list and be entered into our monthly drawing. That's drfrances RICHARDS.com, drfrancisrichards.com to subscribe to our mailing list and be entered into our monthly drawing. We promise we won't spam you or sell your information.
Thank you for listening and subscribing to Black Entrepreneur Experience. We would love for you to leave a review and rating on iTunes and share with your friends. For show notes and more episodes, go to www.beepodcast.com. Join us next Wednesday, and remember, green is the new black. So keep your bank accounts and your business in the black.